Alright, Sid, I think you've done enough. It's time to start a new life. Let's get this over with. You okay? What's going on? What is that thing? Oh, this is different. What is this? No. Sid, get away from it. It's the star thing. I know, just don't think about it. Well, then you know what you have to do to catch up. Kill more monsters. Hello and thank you for watching. So, that was, I guess the continuation of that last video with the Sid Gets Her Stars spiel. Hopefully a bit less weird for most of you. But I did want to represent how I am splitting my save. I'm going to be testing out a pure auto attack Sid versus a hybrid auto attack and big click, huge click Sid and see how that does. I'm not sure. I feel like it's going to mostly be like in the end game that it's going to show up, or also during the zoom phase, if it ends up actually consistently one-shotting a lot of stuff for at least some of its transcension. And if that's the case, it's going to progress up to a higher SS in a shorter amount of time. But the real question is going to be which one can push the furthest. Now, you might know that the biggest problem with the auto attack build is that you end up with a horribly difficult ascension every time you ascend, especially at the later levels. And so hopefully going hybrid, that can alleviate some of the pain. Now, the issue is that this hybrid build is not going to have as many hero souls available to buff up all of its stats. So I have a few less stats in certain nodes compared to the pure build, but for now I don't think I'm going to see a huge difference between the two because I put so many points into mana on my pure build to the point where I can actually now sustain auto attack storm with just my huge mana pool as well as a reload. So maybe I should have delayed that a little bit more, but doing this means that I can actually get to the Juggernaut combo much faster. So it takes 6 nodes to go from auto attack storm to Managize, and it takes 7 nodes to go from auto attack storm to both Juggernaut and Limitless big clicks. So knocking that out saves me a ton of points for actually getting the build rolling, which I can invest into going towards other more valuable blue nodes. And that might be where there's some difference between these two builds during these ascensions, but I'm not sure it's going to make that huge of an impact. And I'm thinking maybe because I reached this threshold, it's going to be the transcension after this that I'm really going to see it. Another thing to note was that when I was actually going up through the ascensions, I had originally started with like 185 points on my tree, and as I did that for the first few ascensions, but then I kind of realized that, oh wait, there's all of these other nodes like equipment nodes and item cost reduction and energy nodes that have a greater value per skill point you spend compared to, say, my 25 auto attack nodes. And so I started trimming and cutting, and in the last few ascensions, because it takes so many points to go to it and there's so little value in the nodes themselves, I've cut off like the whole haste and crit branch in the bottom right. And so now my last few transitions are like 160 points. So I've ended up catching up to all of the extra points that I've spent, and I've used up all of my extra, or I think I had like one spare Starfire that I've used up. And at this point, actually the greatest value nodes that I'm picking up are my item cost reduction. So I think going forward, I'm going to try and build my trees based on highest value nodes with minimum point investment. And so what that's going to mean is that I'm going to drop my trees down to about 160. And there's going to be another difference here between the pure build and the hybrid build. The hybrid build, to get like a decent amount of big clicks and huge clicks per ascension, I had to cut out quite a few auto attack nodes, and the tree is a whopping 190 points. So that's like a system plus 10 worlds to get all of the nodes that are decent. So stats like energy, item cost reduction, and the chance nodes are going to be a lot lower than on a purist build. So due to diminishing returns, I don't think the chance nodes are going to be that drastic, but we might be looking at the like 5 to 10% difference on a very long transition. So that's going to be another thing to take into account when you're looking at this. But I mean, somebody's got to test it. Unfortunately, I'm not the fastest gamer, and you're stuck with me testing it, or someone else testing it. Maybe there are some others. So far, click build is still looking pretty darn dominant, but I don't know. I still like my auto attack build, as I keep saying, and I'm going to be playing around with this. I've reached system 18 with my pure build, and I need to go back and actually play through with my hybrid build soon. I left it without any offline progress so far because I don't have enough of the automator stuff for it to work. Thanks for watching. I hope you found some interesting stuff in here, and I'll see you next time.